Are we live? People, deluded. I'm back again. I apologize for being a couple moments late, people. I say a couple. The Twitch stream overran. And I had to go to the chemist, people. You can see like my eyes are watering and I got a bit of a sty there. Had to go and get some eye drops, people. But yeah, you're gonna have to forgive me for being 10 minutes late. I can barely see. And I feel like I feel a bit, I don't even know, like I'm in another universe. Maybe should have done it a couple of moments before I've come live. But we're here anyways, man. People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Please do me a favor and hit the like button on your way in. Do me a better favor and get comfortable. Get your talking points, questions, any of that stuff. You lot drive the engagement. You lot make it a privilege to be here at 11:30. As usual, it's Tuesday. Hope you're all moving close to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations, or at least trying to. Hope you can overcome any hardship or anything going through your life in terms of adversity. We can't do it without health. So, wishing you all, all good spiritual, mental, and physical health, and the other sort of variations of such, and extend that to your loved ones. As usual, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. People, give me a second. I can't lie. I'm trying to soldier on, but Nick need a tissue. I ain't gonna lie to you, people. I need a tissue if we're gonna do this. Yeah, people, I'm absolutely dying, man. Somehow it feels like, I don't know how, but I put the eye drops in my eye and I could taste it as well. So it's like, yeah, man, a guy needs a tissue, man. I need to fix up, man. I can't lie to you. So yeah, man, get your opinions and whatnot in. There isn't too much to cover from an Arsenal perspective. Thinking of bits and pieces to come to you with live streams next week, but or earlier later in this week. But for today, obviously, elephant in the room. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has spoken in relation to potentially when he wanted to leave the club, which we'll get onto. Smith-Rowe's been called up into the England side, and Gabriel's been called up to Brazil, and it's about time, Gabriel, I would say Gabriel, Vinicius Jr., how they weren't in the Brazilian squad anyways, is a mazza, but better late than never, innit? I'm gonna try and go on the FA.com. I want to see, get me, man. I forgot on FA.com and see some official articles showing Smith-Rowe. England call up. Because I've got a couple of articles, but you have to do this guy do it properly, man. What's going on here? Oh, they're getting some crazy cookies. They're not even loading, innit? It's not even loading. So we'll just leave it at that, people. We'll just leave it at that. Anyways, keep going, man. DG, big up DG. Need to be careful with the eyes, especially if looking at multiple screens so much. Health is wealth. Trust me, I know I've got multiple sclerosis. Obviously, tinted red glasses. Hopefully, you're living with that. Wishing you the best in that regards. And you're right, man. I think about health all the time. Obviously, I had an office job prior, so I was sat at a desk and staring at a screen. In life, we stare at screens all the time. Like, obviously, you got the iPhone there, you got this there, you got whatever in it, 2 screens here in front of me. So you're fully right. I always think about that. I always think about the fact that I'm staring at multiple things, and I always think about the fact that obviously, man, sat up for how many hours I'm sat up like this. So it's one of them. Big up G1. He's always here with the bands. Rashford gave Smith-Rowe his time. Shout out to him. He's always trying to feed the kids in it. It's nice to see one of the attacking players at United beyond Ronaldo are competent. Lovely to see him living up to his potential there. Really and truly. Like I said, please make sure you're hitting the like button. There's 55 of you locked in. If you all hit the like button, we've crushed those dislikers already, people. There's only 33 likes. So if you have hit the like button, big up yourself. Hope you win the lottery. Hope you overcome any adversity. If you haven't, unexpected high bills due, and it's Christmas time as well. Damn well you don't need any more high bills. Damn well you don't need any more money flying out of your account. I don't either. So yeah, hit that like button, innit? Big up DG, good night from the South Pacific Ocean. Big up yourself, blood. DL, blood. Man said South Pacific Ocean. I mean, I know where it is, but where is that? That's a madness. And this is why I do this, people. It doesn't matter if you're in the United Kingdom like myself or somewhere abroad, whether it's morning, evening, or night. We're all connected through our love of football. And I'm proud to be here day in, day out with you lot. Listen, I'm not giving no attention to anyone disliking the thing, but you already know the bias that's going on. There was 22 to 30 dislikes before a guy even spoke, I don't let them do what they need to do, but just hit the like button, innit? Bad mind people can't stop us. As usual, smash the like button. Can we get to 100 likes as a target? It's Football Manager Day. Happy Football Manager Day to those of you that fuck with Football Manager. Pardon my French. I'll be live at 4 p.m. to go over that again. And, shout out to everyone who was in my live stream yesterday. We won the FA Cup. I'm not going to lie, if you're watching it exclusively on YouTube, there's a bit of a backlog as I clip up the clips and upload them. So you're behind. We won the FA Cup and got Champions League in our first year at Arsenal. I think I had to change the wage budget because I need to renew deals and I've only got 37 million to spend. So I can't see us doing a mads up, but it is what it is in that regards, man. 34 dislikes. I don't know, man. Fuck them. Just hit the like button, man. Let's not give them any more attention, man. How am I feeling? Theo, I'm good, man. As I said, I'm here with you lot. I appreciate you lot that are locked in, man. DG, can you do tactical reviews of yourself? Oh, I don't need to do that, innit, man? Got top 4 and 1 FA Cup. Tactical reviews is results, innit? But it could be a shout, man. Different topic. Oh, so it's not coming up. Guess it's a lot of FM this week because of the international bet. I don't know about a lot. I just know. Make sure you're following on Twitch and make sure you're checking out your schedule. You'll see 1s and 2s and bits and pieces will come out on YouTube and so on and so forth. I don't know about that, Greg. Man said I'm better than Arteta. In the game, yeah. Don't know about real life. Different topic. Last season, I suggested Ainsley Maitland-Niles doing the pivot role and was being dismissed. I'm waiting for the humble pie. Cam, it is what it is. I would say, though, in relation to that, I mean, I don't think anyone's had a question about Ainsley. We've seen him do it at Man United. We've seen him have some good games there and some bad games there. I think you should be able to win with Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Lokonga in midfield together when you play Norwich and when you play Watford. When you play slightly more reputable teams, it might throw up another debate, but I want that, I don't really rate none of our midfield options and how they work as a pivot. I like Lokonga, big fan of Partey. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is man them. Think El Nene is a good guy. Don't think XHAKA's as bad as people make out. Don't think he's as good as people make out. And when I look at our partnerships, XHAKA and Partey seems to be the number one. If everyone's fit, that's what Arteta is playing. That's very much hit and miss. The same goes for the new look one where we saw Odegaard and Partey. I do think Partey and Lokonga, whether it's this season, next season, or the season after that, we need to be able to have 2 6s that can play in a game in the same way we need 2 8s, an 8 and a 6, maybe 2 6s and an 8, 2 8s and a 6. We need different options. And I think Ainsley could try and be that. Do I think any of these are first choice Donnies? I don't know. A lot of these pivots have been hit and miss, and I still maintain we're going to live or die by our midfield. Currently, we're 5th. There's no problems, but we're 1 injury away from a crisis. So I do believe that. I think Ainsley, that was a game where, again, I don't want to discredit playing well against Watford, but he laid down a marker. He played quite well. You saw a swagger to him. You saw him. Sometimes it's not that Ainsley plays within himself. It's just like, man, don't know you're on the football field sort of thing. And I think that was to be said for me at West Brom when I'm watching him. There weren't too many games that it's not that he hasn't fitted in, but he hasn't stood out sort of thing, and you stood out against Watford, obviously the contentious moment where do you foul Sarr or not? I never saw it, so I can't comment on it. I'm sure you lot can. But that's what you want to do. All you can do is take your opportunities when they come, complicate things for your manager, which, as I said, excluding injuries, I don't think, he's played his way potentially to playing against Liverpool. But that's all you can do. When you're given an opportunity, take it. And I saw a sense of urgency from Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So hopefully that's the end of his transfer stuff. Obviously, how much football is he going to get at Arsenal when everyone's fit is a different debate. I think, he's somewhat made peace with the fact that you might not be a starter and January is January, the summer is summer, but, relish your adaptability. Personally, I think, Tomiyasu starts every game of the week, but I think that's an area we could look to use Ainsley as well because Tommy doesn't want to go forward and Ainsley will get more games across the season at right back then. We will need to rest Tomiyasu, if not this season, next season, by God's grace, if we're in Europe and all these things. So I like what I saw from Ainsley. All you got to do, and you know what, generally, when we've played the occasional cup games or games like Watford have come in where there's 1-2 injuries or whatever, I like the fact players have taken their opportunities because I think it's too easy to pick the squad for Arteta, and I think everyone's got to give him a headache. I'm a jumping ahead a bit, but Saliba next season, I want Gabriel and Ben White to keep going from strength to strength. But go and give Arteta a headache. Go and keep him up at night when his wife is trying to make love to me. Don't want to do that because he's saying, do I go for it at the back or do I drop one of Gabriel and Saliba? We need, look at the hair on Arteta's head. Respectfully, Arteta, I want the players to be playing so well. Your hair's gone because you don't know who am I playing. And as a fans, we need to be honest. Right now, Arsenal need to find a stable 11, which I don't know if we can say that. despite our form, but we need to be able to chop and change and take people out the team when they need rest or people are missing through suspension and not see a drop off in quality. Because I think as Arsenal fans, we do a lot of, it's relevant, but when things don't go well, we do a lot of waffling about the player that wasn't involved or the party that wasn't involved. And it's always the person that weren't involved that's the hero, really. And that can't always run. 63 likes, we're doing well, people. Can we keep moving forward in that regards? So it's one of them. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, again, he played very well against Watford. So, and you'd imagine there's going to be a lot of, Arteta was pressed about him. You've seen him pressed here. Right, man, I say Maguire should be stripped of his captaincy. To be fair to you, United should buy Declan Rice and play him there and drop my man. But apparently, Ainsley Maitland-Niles insists his Arsenal summer transfer woes are in the past now after a failed Everton move. And as you know, he was named man of the match against Watford, people. And again, you are an England international. Are you going to get in England? You did play for England off the back of playing for Arsenal, but are you going to be there really, really and truly? That's another debate. Ben White should be in the England squad. I know James Ward-Prowse, Rashford, and Luke Shaw, and there might be one person else that's dropped out, but it is what it is where that's concerned. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is looking forward rather than back after starring in Arsenal's win over Watford following a summer which saw him angle for a move away from the Emirates Stadium. Clearly, you know where you stand right now. You're a squad player. It's down to you and your opportunities to elevate beyond that, people. As you lot know, he was linked with a loan to Everton in the final days. It never materialized. We all know he did the social media bad beat antics and things like that. And obviously, there was a meeting. Apparently, he said that's all in the past now. I'm just thinking about it. And it is. What? We can't keep waffling about it, people. We cannot keep waffling about it. He said, I am just thinking about the future and what's ahead of me. It was great to be out there today getting minutes and hopefully there is more to come. Scrolling down, he said, we've got to be realistic about it. We don't want to slip back into our old ways. And that's it. When I hear you speaking about that, what is anyone else saying? Exactly. So we are pretty head focused on not trying to lose games and win more games at the same time. Hence the good run of unbeaten games. We just need to grow in confidence, keep it as a basic standard for us to compete in every game. And he said it there. I know I'm talking about things, but you've said it there. You've said it there. Make this the minimum. Don't lose games. Try and win games. We are obviously going to lose games, but you get the point, people. I don't really care what Danny Rose has said about anything really, but yeah, man, that's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What are you lot saying on Ainsley Maitland-Niles, people? Shout out to Cam for setting me up perfectly. What a free ball, and obviously Ainsley was involved in. I feel he was unlucky because obviously VAR done us dirty. Where I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles has actually played a starring role in the build-up, which led to XHAKA eventually putting it in. Same with Lacazette, and actually Ainsley Maitland-Niles that ball to Lacazette. For the penalty, like I said, he grew up in Ilford/Goodmays. That must be a skill in East London. It could never be from Haylen. Listen, let's be real. That was, I don't know what he tried to do there, but it worked, didn't it? He had a good game, present problems, and this is what you got to do. It's a big January. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I would love a midfielder or two in January, but I'm probably reaching, so I'm probably hoping for one. But there's opportunities. XHAKA is gonna come back sooner rather than later, but he's not gonna be fully fit. So you've got an opportunity, not just you, anyone in the meantime, to put a marker down for things. AFCON, that's El Nene and Partey gone. Again, that's assuming there's no other setbacks where XHAKA's concerned or assuming no one else gets injured. Take your opportunities when they come. Give the manager, play your way into the squad. I don't think he's ever going to be Smith-Rowe, but Smith-Rowe was at a point with the Joe Willits and then Nketiah in that you're not involved in the team. Got his chance against Chelsea, gone strength from strength. Looks like a different player to, if you remember, under Lampard, or was it Arteta, played against Everton away when we had the yellow kit, didn't do much. And look at Smith-Rowe 10, 11 months later. It's mad, isn't it? What he's doing. Ainsley's got ability. He can be. All I want to see from you, if you make yourself a first team regular, that's you. But I just want to see reliability. I think you can be a reliable squad player that obviously if you nail down the spot, you do your thing. But it is what it is. Hit the like button as well, people, if you haven't. 75 likes. We're doing all right. Shh, DG, I was going to watch it later. Hey, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. DG, do you think Gabriel gets his first cap? He only has Silva and Marquinhos in front of him. I mean, it's just good for him to be involved in it. Really, I want him to be involved. I want him to do well. And for me, where him and we'll focus on it in a second, but where him and Smith-Rowe are concerned, it's a good look because it shows that obviously Arsenal is the priority. But if you do your job, people are looking. And for me, I think Gabriel's deserved it for a while. I don't really rate a lot of the defenders, excluding two of the names you said there. And for Smith-Rowe, obviously, we'll get onto it, but there's been some injuries that's obviously helped him get a call up. But you've got the call up on merit to even be in the thoughts to get called up straight after. It's not, it's on merit. You deserve it. Go and show Southgate up close what he's getting at, because he's not watching you in training. Go and show what you're about in training. Because I do think when I look at some of the people consistently called up, between being part of the guys that were there at the Euros or being good people or whatever, or impressing in training, I think this goes a long way in Southgate's book. I don't think he calls up the right people. So you can go and get a look in, really and truly. And go do your thing. So Ainsley's going to go from strength to strength. Smith-Rowe from strength to strength. It's all good. As I said, we'll get on to Smith-Rowe and that in a second, people. But I see 1-2 comments from you guys, man. And I really enjoy the comments. Again, you lot make this platform what it is, people. Let me scroll the way down. On the football thing, I'm glad for Smith-Rowe and Gabriel. They performed well enough. They deserve the recognition. Although how Mings is in before White, other than he's left-footed. Bro, tinted red glasses? Psh, bro, I don't know. I don't know. When you find out, let me know. I don't understand how Ben White's not there. I think Mings is benefiting from the left foot tax. I think Mings is benefiting from, Rashford's there. Rashford's good, and so is Sterling. And I don't think Mings is a bad player. But them man do the things off the field. I think Mings doing things off the field has helped him. Left foot tax as well. Don't understand it. I know you can't always just call up players on current form, but Mings, bro, if Mings is getting dropped by Villa, come on now. Come on now. Does he look like the best defender in the Villa shirt at this current period? Do you think Partey will play against Liverpool? I hope so, but I don't think we're being told the truth, really, in relation to it. XHAKA and Partey ain't even a bad midfield, let's be real. It's not bad, but it's not exactly good. It's very much hit and miss. I've seen it be a hit. I've seen it be a miss. I'm not convinced on it. That's just my opinion. I don't think you can get Champions League football with that playing consistently. I do think people do XHAKA a bit dirty, and, they rewrite history, and I do think there are some things he does that are understated. And I remember, when we was going in games like Spurs, after that, you were saying we can't not have XHAKA. When we had shaky games against Palace or Brighton, people sat there and said, you know what, you can't bring, XHAKA, we needed him. When you look at how we've been playing since XHAKA's injury, unfortunately, people are not saying that. I think I've been down a long road with a lot of these midfielders. I think XHAKA can be an okay squad player. I don't think he's good enough to play on a regular basis. I think you can play games like Watford, games like Norwich to a degree, occasionally games like Spurs mentality. He's on it. But I just think we've been down this corner, in it. We've been down this road. I think Partey, you'd see a lot better from Partey if he had a better midfielder. I think, XHAKA is probably the only midfielder that we have that I would describe as a progressive midfielder. I know Partey can pass the ball forward. I'm not describing him as that because that's not his primary job. That's all extras. Lokonga the same. Ainsley, we don't really know what midfielder you are currently. We can speculate, but we don't know. You can put Odegaard there. And Nene is the furthest thing from a progressive passing midfielder. Saying that there's games for it, because I was begging for you to come on when we was trying to close up Watford. So I think a better progressive midfielder is needed anyways. XHAKA takes a lot of touches. The best players do things in less touches. If things can be done in 2 touches, do them in 2 or less. XHAKA needs 5, and we've got that, and we've got players who can't pass it. And I think games like Watford, credit to Ainsley, Maitland-Niles and Lokonga, they didn't do bad, but they're quite limited in terms of progressive football, and we was quite overcompensating on Ben White, on Gabriel within that regards, people. So I think we're going to live or die by midfield. I think there was a chance to really revamp our midfield, and obviously with XHAKA staying, that chance has gone, really. And I think, we're going to live or die by midfield. And I think obviously we're winning games, but it's still an elephant in the room for me, because our technical director and ARTETA were midfielders. Yeah, you've brought in Lokonga, but I think the priority most people would have seen, if they went for that, they would have said a midfielder. And I think even if XHAKA, regardless of XHAKA's future, clearly it's intertwined, whether that's through finances or squad depth or balance. But I would have thought, regardless of what goes on with XHAKA, you need to upgrade on that midfield, really. I like that you've got a young number 6. I call Lokonga the young Partey. Have you got a young XHAKA minus the obvious? I don't know. He needs to sign a new XHAKA. No, I might call that. I might click that and call that the title. That will get you lot peed off. Hit the like button if you haven't. Make sure you're following on Twitch, people. Appreciative. We're at 89 likes. We're moving closer and closer and closer and closer. Big up DG. Happy for my guy Ainsley, but he needs to be consistent. That's it. Obviously, it's difficult to be consistent if you're not playing, but take your opportunities when they come. Really and truly. Come on, man. We grind. We grind. There's no excuses. We keep doing things, man. If I was blind, I'd still grind. It's crazy, man. Captaincy would be better served around Bruno Fernandez's arm. Who? Well, they ain't got nothing to do with Arsenal. On the midfield, if we can replace El Nene and XHAKA with a first-team contender and an up-and-coming player, whether that be Patino/Aziz, I think Patino/Aziz should be a fifth/sixth choice midfielder. They're in the squad, but I think we need. I personally, I would like Thomas Partey, Lokonga, two midfielders. They're my four primary midfielders. Anyone else? And can I see two midfielders coming in without selling XHAKA, who signed a new deal, without El Nene season's done? Fair play. Did you see Reece Nelson's assist for final? Yeah, man. Hopefully he gets some more confidence. That we'll focus on that in the loan report. Hopefully that gives him a lot of confidence to move forward with things and really put down a marker, really and truly, and come back to Arsenal a more confident player, one that could potentially break into the first team, because Saka's got too much of a free ride on the right wing. If you're honest with yourselves, a club like Arsenal take nothing away from Bukayo Saka. He's earned it through playing well and stuff, but there's been times where, even this season, there's been times where really, if we had more options, Saka, we have overplayed him at times, so he needs a rest. But just on the basis of form, he could be dropped. But Saka, for me, I would say he's our most important player on that right for us to go with Smith-Rowe. But it's too much of an easy ride. And as a number 7 at a club, there should always be a target on your back. So if Reece Nelson can come and show your levels and show you're the guy like we first thought you was, then why not really? Every competition breeds competitiveness. If everyone's more competitive, they should do better with the minutes they're getting. So yeah, man. It is what it is. Big up yourself, Pep Teta. What a name. I'll take Ainsley over El Nene sideways. It depends, really, because in the last 5 minutes of that game, I wanted him, man. Nothing against Guendouzi, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles was in the same situation, swallowed his pride, and now he's involved in plans. Fair play. I wouldn't say Guendouzi, but he might miss Arsenal. I wouldn't say he misses that. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a Swiss Army knife, good as a squad player. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, good utility player. No diss to his ability. Fact. Idea/suggestion during the international break. Could you do a player profile each day? Only 30 minutes overall on each player. One day, one a day. Then an end of season overall recap. I mean, I think we do that anyways, but we can do a mid-quarter season review or some sort of shit like that. So let me screenshot that. That is something. We might even be able to start that today, really. Let me copy and paste what you just said. That's a fantastic idea. Members, please make sure you're checking out the community tab and asking questions and stuff like that. We might just get into that today, to be fair with you. Ainsley just needs to perform when he comes on. I understand if he wants more game time. Never been slating him for that. And that's what it should be, man. Don't mind Ings, but Cody. I think Cody's probably been in better form, but yeah, they're just there for team spirit. But they're just probably there to wake up Grealish, Foden, all the guys that you would probably chill with, or I would chill with if I was in the England squad. Probably there to wake them up. Connor Cody's gonna get everyone a nice little tea and coffee. The team meetings at 8 a.m. He's all there at 6:45. He's cool, man. He's making sure everyone's in their room at 7 p.m. Indirectly snitching to Scout. Bro, he's probably roommates with Southgate, really. Less headache. Man says XHAKA is wife. Alright, bro, there's bare centre backs, Again, Dunk, I don't know what I'm going for Dunk. Dunk's been all right. If he actually is English. Dunk's been good, White's been good. There's many different. Tamori, again, got his little one involvement and not involved again, sort of thing. Really and truly. Let's increase the likes. Everyone keep running it up. Keep running it up. United did get Champions League with Fred and McTominay, but you're also forgetting they had the goal scorer in Bruno Fernandes. We don't have typical goal scorers, so we can't overcompensate, And look where it's got them now. Credit to United, they did get that, but for Man United, is Man United's goal in life to finish second. I'm not a United fan, and I know where they're at. They have to probably swallow the bullet a bit, pause, but. Is there, if their goal is to get second and lose a final, then that tells you everything in it, and their midfield still looks unbalanced. So I don't know if that's the right avenue. I don't think there's any way. I respect your opinion, but I don't think there's any way of arguing that XHAKA and Partey are going to be a long-term partnership and return us to success, really and truly. I think they can both contribute. But it's a bit of a myth. Searching in my mind for a young XHAKA. Ainsley is too good at CDM. I don't know if he's good if he actually played CDM, because if you look at it, he's higher than Lokonga half the time. I don't know if he's progressive enough to play at that base. I don't know if out of 10 games, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to be focused enough. Zachariah is the next XHAKA. Apart from both being midfielders, different types, and both being Swiss and being at Gladbach, I don't think there's a single similarity. Thoughts on Odegaard so far? Gone off the boil in the last 3 games, if I'm honest with you. In fact, let's make sure we've, Joe, we're gonna incorporate your idea soon in a sec, man. What should we write here? Let's say player, call it quarter season player review / debate club or something. Don't know who would be. I need a player that polarizes opinion, man. What player should we talk about first, people, in that regards? Joe, it's your thing, so you get that in there. Thoughts on Odegaard so far? Odegaard could be a candidate as well, to be fair. I'll put Odegaard's name there. Who else could there be, folks? Who else could there be? Question: do we need a new XHAKA or a new Vieira? I mean, obviously, we'd want someone like Vieira who could play a ball forward, but you're not going to get that. I only say a new XHAKA in that you need an 8. XHAKA doesn't do it bad, but doesn't do it well enough, in that he's the guy that gets onto the ball, attempts to dictate the play for this team, attempts to get things going. Probably Partey can do it, and Lokonga can do it occasionally, but he's the only one, in my opinion, in Granit Xhaka that's going to see a pass, a cross-field pass, and play it. Sometimes I think we're a bit too slow. Again, that's probably the one luxury he gives you for all the issues. I don't think Ainsley's going to be XHAKA. I don't think he's going to be XHAKA because he's not that sort of guy on the ball. But yeah, man. My Kili Pepe. Aubameyang or Pepe. We'll have a vote, or I'll just pick one. We've got Pepe, we've got Odegaard, we've got Aubameyang. I do think Switzerland use XHAKA better for them than he's ever been used for us, or whatever they're doing it. To be fair, he's looked all right under Arteta. He's some of his historical mistakes have shown, and there's no escaping that from Granit Xhaka. But I do think he's not. One thing I've liked about Granit Xhaka, pardon me, in comparison to other players, is he's not getting caught. Like, there used to be a thing that pissed me off. Xhaka would be one of the highest pressing players, and then they bypass him. You see him trying to galloping is something he can't do, but galloping back, I see Xhaka less in them scenarios where his highlight in lack of pace gets caught out. So it's one of them ones. Martinelli, that's a shout. Pole vote, we've already. Obviously, I couldn't have foresaw this. So, I think you can only do 1 vote per live stream. So I think I've already done the voting thing. I don't think you can vote again. End poll though. Let's see. Yeah, you can't do it again. Is there a way to do online voting poll? Let's try something. Let's see if we can find one. Create a poll. Debate club, first player. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. 171, only 113 likes. If you've hit the like button, appreciative of that. Let's go. Someone said Martinelli. Let's see if this works. Someone said Pepe. Someone said Odegaard. Someone said Aubameyang. Someone said, you know what? Let's say like no. Let's say Tavares. Let's say Tierney. I've had enough of talking about Lacazette, and you'll always get your knickers in a twist when you mention my man. Create poll. But how do I send this to people? Copy link. View the free dashboard. What? Oh, that's tired, man. You got they zang me. You got to sign up. Fuck you lot, man. I ain't doing none of that, man. That's a myth, man. Use straw poll on Google. Aye, Tino. What a good save, man. Let's get into. Let's look at doing that then. Straw poll. Does this thing let me send it out to you lot? Because I can't do anything other than that. Having somebody with Xhaka's level of talent as a mainstay in our midfield for this many years is an absolute disgrace and embarrassment of the club. Harsh words, but can't disagree, man. Bro, Guimaraes would be amazing. Someone create DG background graphics for season report. Hey, man, we're just gonna stay with the back of the stadium, with it to training ground. Question first. Who to use? No. Debate club first. And this will be, you know what, I can't lie, I'm gonna make this available to my members 9 times out of 10, you know, because can't just be giving it to everyone. But let's go with Aubameyang. We had Aubameyang, we had Pepe, we had Martinelli, we had Odegaard. I'm gonna throw in Tierney there. I'm gonna throw in XHAKA there. So yeah, man, no allowing multiple choices. Great poll. Share this poll again. So yeah, you lot, I've copied and pasted the link. Go and get involved in that one there. Saka and Smith-Rowe routinely kicked all over the park by the opposition. Do Arsenal need an enforcer to protect them? XHAKA was kind of playing that role. Could Ainsley do it? Nah, I think I've seen more grit with everybody. So I'd say if you want to stop being a victim, you've got to make yourself stop being a victim. I mean, XHAKA can't be no one's older brother and be everywhere. It's a bit of an L, man. Martinelli, you lot take part in that vote. Again, let me see the results. When can I end it? Pepe's got 100% of the votes. You know, Pepe's got. We'll leave that until, you know, I'll leave it active until we're done speaking about everything we need to speak about. We've spoken about Ainsley. You know, again, people, we might as well quickly cover the fact that Emile Smith-Rowe and Gabriel have been called up to the national teams of respectively Brazil and England. Now, for Smith-Rowe, first things first, I would say go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy it. That's every, you know, people dreamed of playing Premier League, scoring in the Premier League, playing for countries and things. Go and enjoy it. It's been a, you know, we're approaching next month. It probably be a year since he's been at this level. When I mean at this level, as in you're actually trying to play week in, week out at Arsenal Football Club. You're not just one of these young players that comes in occasionally. You know, this time last year, before he got his opportunity, he was probably having to look at maybe going out on loan. But it's been you know, I think people need to remember he's only been at this level for 11 months now, basically, or whatever. So it's been a whirlwind of a year, similar to when Saka rose all the way from Hayland to representing the country. And it gives us a sense of pride to know we've got two Haylanders there. You know, Ramsdale, who we've just bought, there. Ben White, you should be there. Ainsley, keep playing well. Maybe Southgate puts you back in his thinking. So first things first, I would say go out, enjoy it. Yeah, he's been someone that's been close, but such is the amount of depth of options that England have. He's been a bit unfortunate, you know, due to Rashford, Mount, I think Shaw, Ward-Prowse, and maybe one more dropping out. There's been opportunities, but you've been the first port of call because he knows what you're doing. So go and, you know, don't force it. Just do what you do in training at Arsenal and in general. Everything will take care of itself. Don't get overruled. Remember that you're not just there to be a spectator. You're there because you deserve it. You know, enjoy it. Go and show Southgate up close because he's not at training. Show him what you're like as a person and what you're about. Enjoy it because I don't think this is the case, but let's just say you might never get called up again. Plenty of people are chosen and not selected again. So go out, enjoy it, and then obviously use it to keep to as motivation to keep doing what you're doing, to know that this could be the minimum. You know, this is something to aspire to. This is something that you've been given a taste. So go out there and enjoy it. Obviously, I hope he gets a call up. I mean, a cap. Like, it would be lovely for him to get a cap against San Marino. I've got small hope that Ramsdale starts in goal for that game. Don't think he'll play against Albania, even though he probably is England's best goalkeeper at this moment in time. And England's goalkeeping position should be an open spot. But yeah, congratulations to Smith-Rowe. He did his thing. What more can you say? Technicality or not, he's got his way into the team, people. And apparently there's actually is old. No, this is something old. I was about to tell you that Ollie Watkins has been recalled and that. But then I'm seeing Reece James with blonde hair, and I know that it's been changed, people. So yeah, we've got Albania on Friday next week, but that can't, you know, can that be next week? That can't, Friday can't, the 12th can't be next week if it's this Friday we're playing then, innit? So he might be involved, and go and see what it's about, really. You know, go and see up close what Grealish and what Foden and these sort of players that are slightly ahead of you do, you know. Again, it is what it is in that regards, people. So yeah, he's been called up due to technicalities, you know. So we'll take that. Where is the Smith-Rowe thing, man? As you lot can see here, people, in terms of the article, You know, go out there and enjoy it. And as you lot know, he's been challenged by Arteta to get goals and assists. The last 3 game weeks, he's been doing that, and he's been in good form. You know, he's benched Mr. Real Madrid, in my opinion, in Odegaard, because we couldn't keep playing both of them with Lacazette coming into the team. You know, it's getting competitive. There's gonna come a time where Smith-Rowe might get dropped, and we have to do other things. You know, but credit to Smith-Rowe. You've got the number 10 for Arsenal. It's a big shirt, but he's taking everything in his stride, and I really love that about Smith-Rowe. You're probably I think Saka's our most important player, but you're probably our best player at this current moment in time, excluding Gabriel. Arsenal forward called up to England squad for World Cup qualifiers. So it's serious business against San Marino and Albania. So it's no friendly, it's no Mickey Mouse thing. You're not just there to have a jolly up. You know, you actually need to play well. And like I said, show man what you can do in training with the World Cup next year. Then return. Forget about England. Don't be in it. I know, you know, Smith-Rowe, it's been a crazy year and it's been a crazy couple of weeks. But when you come back, forget all of that. Mount's having dental surgery. Maybe he's having his wisdom teeth removed. I don't know. Ward-Prowse is ill. Rashford has barely just got back to full fitness, so he's off. You know, so obviously you've seen Rashford, Shaw, Mount, James, Ward-Prowse have not been selected, and Smith-Rowe's been given an opportunity. Obviously, Shaw had a concussion, so it is what it is, people. So I'm happy to see Smith-Rowe. Whatever way you get, it is what it is. So we hope he's selected. We hope he plays officially, but it's a good look regardless. Gabriel's named in Brazil squad, people. And again, someone we hope plays at the World Cup. And I'll be honest, someone I see playing for one of the big boys in Europe one day. So I don't think Arsenal can do this thing. But Gabriel's been selected and he could be in line to make his Brazil debut against either Colombia on the 11th of November in 2 days' time, or against Argentina on the 16th, which is a big game. I don't think he'll play, but it's a good look, man. And, you know, it could have been an even better one because he stopped playing in the Olympics when even though he was fit to go and play for to work on Arsenal this season, and he's been a revelation for me. He's been the leader, and again, there's no coincidence. Obviously, his return has coincided with us returning to form, but it's no coincidence that we look better. Statistically, we're doing a lot better with that man at the heart of our defense and leading it. You look like the £50 million new acquisition, if I'm fair, being a bit harsh, but in comparison to Ben White. Not that Ben White hasn't been good, but congratulations to them. That's them doing their thing. What do you make of their call-ups? England/Brazil call-ups. And for us, it's good, Carl. Obviously, they're young players. We've got to talk about value. So now the value is rising, isn't it? Gabriel's value is going to rise, and it's even better now that you look at it. We got that Smith-Rowe contract done, Carl. There would have been numerous zeros added on top of that. And obviously, the next 18 months or so, Smith-Rowe's probably going to be in line for a new deal in relation to, I think, if the club is serious, you do that with Saka, because Saka's eclipsed that deal now, you know, and this is what we need to do. That's one thing I've admired about Liverpool. You know, Salah's the only sort of contract thing you've seen of recent with Liverpool with key players where it's kind of running into a dangerous territory. With Arsenal, that has been a frequent one. So it's something that, apologies, it's something that we're going to have to keep in the back of our minds and something we're going to have to address. As I said, man, where was Smith-Rowe? You know what, Gabriel, bro, where were you 3 years ago? You barely were playing in Europe. Smith-Rowe, where were you 11 months ago? You know, again, this is a young squad and I'm happy to see it. And as long as they keep doing what they're doing, there'll be many more, you know, just hopefully you can get capped. I don't think either player is going to get capped. I think Smith-Rowe more of a chance, car. It just looks like Brazil got some tough games. And I think it's easier to blood a new attacking player than blood a new defensive player, if that makes sense. But yeah, man. It is what it is. Big up, Badir. Hope you're doing well and safe. What's the vote for? If you know, you know. Just vote, brother. Bear Man said Pepe. So I think we'll speak about Pepe in a sec. Interesting considering Aubameyang struggling for consistency since signing the thing. A bit harsh on him this season. Pick your player to be reviewed. No English centre-back gets into that Brazilian side, DG. Okay, I don't think... All right. Is Miguel ready again? Can't play for Portsmouth. Would you bring Aziz back if he's not playing? Yeah, but again, all of these guys crying for Patino and Aziz. When they lose the ball in the middle of the park, they're going to be the first ones killing them. You know, I think they're ready to get little 10 minutes here and there. But if you're asking me if they have to start in a Premier League game, I think they'll struggle because they've still got a lot to work on. But their quality is there. Just give them time. Being at Arsenal definitely helps international chances. Benjamin White's not in the team. I don't know where. Last time I checked, Benjamin White plays for England. I don't know where we're getting the Brazilian team. No English centre back gets in the Brazilian team. I mean, have you seen some of their other options? But fair play, and like them man are not Brazilian, so it don't make sense. Bit of a stupid comment, really. But Gabriel's one of Brazil's best options. He is, but you know, Tite, he's a different guy, man. He's a bit of a different fella. DG, what would you do with Martinelli? Give him his chance in January, broski. Make sure we're hitting the like button if we haven't hit that already, folks. 133. So close, but so far. Is where it is. Call that for England team. Here we have it. He's definitely going to struggle if he can't get games for Portsmouth. He's a 19, 20-year-old man that's never kicked professional ball. He's obviously going to struggle. He's probably struggling with the application of training, probably earning the manager's trust with the context of where Portsmouth are and what they're trying to do and their form to get a look in. Obviously, getting a look in is one thing, but you need to show that you can play well to a high level week in, day out. The games are coming quick, thick and fast. The pace of the game, this ain't academy football. A player like Miguel Aziz, very cultured, loves to take a touch. Amazing to see, but them luxuries are not going to be afforded in the senior game. If he wasn't struggling, I'd be happy. But if he wasn't struggling, I would be more concerned. I expect you. You've never been in that. It's like everybody waffling about Balogun playing. The minute he played against Brentford and he looks out of his depth, people are saying, oh, maybe he does need a bit of time. What the man expect? People really underestimate how difficult this Premier League thing or in general it is, you know, and especially if Miguel Aziz is going to play in the middle of the park for Arsenal, there's a lot of lessons he needs to learn. For me, doing things in less touches and being proactive. I've seen him give away a lot of sloppy passes. For Patino, I think it's a timing thing as well, but you know, we've just got to allow them with these centre mids. They're more cultured. They're going to take a while to develop. And to be honest with you, if he wasn't struggling at Portsmouth from a footballing point of view, in that regards, I'd have an issue as much as I want him not to be. And mentally, in life, nothing's going to come easy. Nothing's ever, you know, your trajectory is never there. There's adversity, you know. Saka's gone through some adversity now. Smith-Rowe, you know, almost, I wouldn't say almost didn't make it here, but it could have went another way, you know. Miguel, it's not going to happen. And for a while, these things need to change. So it would be something I would have an eye and ear open to looking at in January if we can recall him and send him somewhere else. But it is what it is. I think fans ask for a lot though, because you can't ask for Patino and Aziz to play while we're fifth and we look like we're challenging for things. I know many fans wouldn't, but many fans would sit there and say, "What's going on there?" You can't cry about Balogun playing when everyone else is playing so well. Everyone that was crying about Balogun, does he deserve to get in ahead of Lacazette, Aubameyang, any of these players, potentially even Eddie Nketiah, another player who was on the bench against Watford considering his future, which makes me wonder, you know, Balogun was probably naive. He needed to go out on loan. You're not ready to be a consistent first team player yet. Yeah, you train with the first team. You might have a first team locker, but once you get beyond that, you need to go out and play. And for me, I hope he goes in January and plays football. I need to see games where he's playing against Brentford and them things there where he's out of his depth. Really, you know, it's not always going to be these 23 games where you're just badding them up. With respect to Dundalk, even them games there have to be discounted card. They're not really levels. And I'm not saying this to criticize. It's like Saliba. Saliba's had some very great games. Everyone will waffle about Mbappe. No one will talk about the shakiness against Lazio. And I'm not saying you should be overly praising or criticizing him. I'm just saying have some balance for the 20-odd-year-old. He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games, much like the 18, 19 / the 23-year-olds currently within this first team at this moment in time. For me, with Arsenal, just needs to be a bit more proactive. I wouldn't say Patino needs to go on loan anytime soon. Balogun is of the level where he needs to play. I think it's, you know, he's badding it up for 23s, but in the grand scheme of things, where is that getting us really and truly? Take your time with young players. And I can't lie, I don't want to sound snobby, but a lot of the shouts that I see sometimes, I just know that people are not watching these young players. I just know him. I get the enthusiasm, but I just know you're not watching them because you wouldn't be saying these certain things. Really and truly. Big up, Pat. So how you doing, DG? I mean, I'm here with you lot, man. It's always a pleasure. I'm doing well, my guy. So yeah, man, Gabriel definitely deserves it. Facts. Ainsley Maitland-Niles could be our Milner. I mean, if you can show that level of consistency, why not? I wouldn't mind that. The confidence you could have from someone just doing a job, just doing their job better yet. Balogun needs to go to a lower place Prem team for the season. I would love to, but if you're fighting relegation and you need to score goals, are you gonna it is easy for Balogun at 23's level. But as I was saying, sorry, let's get the spammers out of here. What's all that? Come out the thing. But as I was saying, I would love him to, but if you're fighting relegation at this moment in time, like let me check, yeah, and you need goals, are you gonna bet on someone that ain't scored goals? You know? At this level. And again, he hasn't been given a chance. But if you're trying to fight into the if you're trying to fight into the league, if you're trying to fight to stay in the league, does it make sense? Because it would be good for Balogun. What if Balogun misses a one-on-one and then the other team go down and score, and that leaves you with that confirms you to be relegated? Again, I'm not saying that he wouldn't thrive, but I'm saying obviously when people's backs are pushed against the wall, they might not lean on a young player to play. Sometimes they get you out of issues, like you've seen, but sometimes they don't, man. Bro, I never said Saliba hasn't had a good loan spell, broski. I just said there's no in between. People will waffle about Mbappe, about the Mbappe tackle. People will keep quiet about the Lazio thing. Then when he comes next season and he's not the Messiah you thought he is, they'll call him overrated. They did it with Nelson. I knew people weren't watching Nelson because there were sometimes he would score and you see the 5-minute clips, but he's not done fuck all. And there was games he didn't score and was quite good. I'm not saying this to be no know-it-all. I only watch these young players because I like to see young talent develop, and I need to know what I'm getting or try my best to kind of know what I'm getting. I think Saliba's got all the potential in the world. But yeah, man, I think Eddie Nketiah, as we was talking about, probably has more of a chance of being bought by a lower league Prem team because he's got a better body of work. Really. Now, when you look at the league table, sorry, as I was referring to, you said lower Premier League team. What is it? Palace could take him, but again, let's say from 13th to 20th, that's Southampton, Brentford, Leeds, Villa, Watford, Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich. I don't think there's a team here. Balogun can't find a role for himself, but is he going to get significant football? Norwich are fifth. Norwich are bottom actually now. Again, and Newcastle Newcastle got 5 points, sorry, and so the Norwich, and they're 19th and 20th. What's going to happen there? Now, Norwich have a small squad. They could lean on him to be used, but are they going to play him? Villa, I don't know if you're playing. Are you getting ahead of Danny Ings and Watford? Danny Ings and Watkins, unless somebody's injured, you might come off the bench. But to be fair, you could say Balogun ain't making the bench for us, so you could come off the bench there. But what's the point, sort of thing? You might as well go Championship where you're gonna play somewhere where you're gonna play. Brentford were looking at you apparently. Sheffield United did look at you, so I'd rather you lot take an opportunity there. No, Saliba had a good game in his last game. That's my point, is that man is not Messiah, bro. He's 20, 21. Like, he's going to have great moments and he's going to have bad moments. And there's going to be them fans that sit there and go, oh, I told you he's overrated. He's not that good and all of this. I don't expect a 20-year-old to be the finished article. If you haven't hit the like button, please do me a favor and make sure you're hitting that like button. 144 likes, people. Keep running that up. Make sure you're following me on Twitch. 4 p.m. we go live again. Balogun needs to go to a mid-table team where he can full access to Prem, so he'll get some difficult games and some hard games. I think he should go to the brokest team, the team with the less resources in the Prem, if he is going to go to a Prem team, because they're more likely to use you. I don't think Leeds are using him, regardless of their form. I don't think he's played at Leeds. I don't think he's played at Newcastle. I don't think he's playing at Brentford. I don't think he's playing at Villa. I hope he does, but I don't think he's... Listen, because these lots' backs are against the wall, really and truly. Bro, Ilias, this ain't making no sense, my guy. Please structure the sentence. And the thing is, with Saliba, he's just going to get... All I want with Saliba is, if you're not going to play cool, like I said before, I'm not against it. He just needs to play consistently, which he's doing at Marseille. And hopefully, we get to see the fruits of that labor sooner rather than later, ideally next season. Whether that is a case, I don't know, though. I really don't. Yeah, man. In relation to the what's it called? Let's see where the voting is now, man. Let's see what the vote is saying. Oh, I'll show you lot. It's an interesting one, really. 56% of you went with Pepe, 12% went with Aubameyang, the rest went with Martinelli, and the rest after that went with Granit Xhaka. So I think tomorrow we'll start focusing live streams purely on that, but we'll start with Pepe today. You know, to be fair, Joe Bones, you can get credit for it today, but somebody did come up with that idea before. You know, it might have been one of the members in Matt. But yeah, man, get your opinions in as well. Let's call it. I know, man. Arsenal player review. Let's just call it that until a name can be sound. Let's start with Pepe. So you lot get your opinions in on Pepe as well, folks. Because you lot, I mean, we gave you the votes. Well, Pepe smashing it. Bro, certain man twerk for Mavropanos, bro. Meaty, man. And Nketiah to the Prem, Balogun to the Bundesliga. That could be a shout. Pepe slander. I don't know, man. Nah, Joe. I can't lie. Someone else said it as well. Literally, someone that's not Joe Bones. I mean, my opinions on Pepe. I mean, we've spoken about him a lot, man. I think I don't know where I start. Like, what do I say? I think I think we need to accept he's never going to be that talisman. He's never going to be that Mo Salah. He's never going to be among the Premier League's goal scorers. He's never going to be our go-to man. He's shown elements at times. I think Arteta has been a bit harsh. I think the system hasn't been beneficial. I don't think he should have been signed for the outlay. I think we've signed a player that we haven't. We've you know. We don't really know that he's a counter-attacking man. That being said, I think he's an okay squad player. I do think he should get more game time. I do think fans are being a bit harsh, and I do think it's to that level now where it's gone. It has become scapegoating. Like for me, you know, frustrating, loses the ball a lot, but also does a lot of good stuff. And he's a bit of a hot and cold player. Like you see the Pepe that. The FA Cup victory, you know, in that period, you see the Pepe that was played at the second half of last season, you know, that was the guy. I think he's one of these confidence players. I think he's one that needs to play consistently. But, you know, right now, you're not doing enough to get ahead of Saka. You're not doing enough to be a better option off that, even though you are decent off the left, to be ahead of Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang if he's moved over there, and them other things there. And I think for someone that's touching 100 appearances for this club, it's a bit meaty, but saying that people have got onto him when his output hasn't been the worst. I mean, you know, we're at where we're at in it. 98 appearances, 25 goals, 18 assists. It hasn't been good enough. And I do think, you know, the IQ and the stature of the player, it wasn't adapting. It was a player that if you was looking at him, he had 18 months to 2 years of a real purple patch prior to us buying him. It weren't sustainable. The IQ isn't quite high enough. You know, beyond being a squad player, that's it for me, really. But sometimes I do think he's been scapegoated. There's been games he's played quite well and unnecessarily been criticised. But equally, you know, for every one of them, there's games where the guy just ain't done it, man, really and truly. He just ain't done it. But I do think in a mediocre season last season, he did his thing and he wasn't given any plaudits. You know, he bagged to have the up and down season he had and get 10 goals in the Premier League in 29 appearances. How many of them were 90? And to walk away last season with 16 goals and 5 assists, it's not the best, but it's better than a lot of guys. Like, I do think there is a role for Pepe, but I don't think it's, you know, I think it's a squad player at best. Obviously, there's been times where he's earned a spot. I do think you could use him at 26 years of age. He can be in the plans, you know, with Martinelli and Saka and the rest of them. He's only 26, but yeah, man, he's a passenger at this moment. He's a confidence player, and right now, you know, ideally, even Saka shouldn't be a shoe-in to start off that right-hand side, but it doesn't look like there's any significant competition. And if I can say someone that's only been an Arsenal footballer of this level for about 2 years to a 70-odd million pound man, there's an L there in it, really and truly, man. You know, I do think Pepe is hard done by. I do think Pepe has become a bit more all-rounded. I think he helps out a lot defensively. I do think not enough is said for Tomiyasu with Saka and Pepe on that right-hand side and how he's kind of crippling them going forward for as good as he is. I do think he's a decent dribbler, but sometimes he obviously runs into blind alleys and does a lot of bullshit, people, you know, really and truly. I mean, what's your lot's opinion? Pepe is shocking, no final product. I do think his end product is terrible, but what does that say about the rest of the team if his numbers are better than a lot of people? Can you say his is terrible when you look at Saka's and you look at even Smith-Rowe's bagging, but historically? Or could you say Arsenal has a problem with output and it comes to these individuals needing to score goals, or it's on the collective of the manager as well? Pepe's game, he doesn't want to defend. He wants to be set free on the transition, probably. But Pepe does a lot of defending. Half the time, he's on the halfway line. really. I think that's one thing that's very unfair is that Pepe does defend. I don't think Pepe is worth the price tag. He's a 20 million pound player, if that. What else are you lot saying, man? Pepe's still smashing it. Oh, that was obviously in relation to the voting thing. He did well, and like I said, man, it's just about it's just with Pepe's consistency. The consistency is not there, is it? Like with a lot of these players, him, Lacazette, all these guys, like they don't do it for the whole 38 period. You know, we've got a lot of players that will have it in patches with reception to Lacazette. I'm saying historically with Lacazette. Man said he hoped he'd become a Overmars. And again, respectfully, I understand it, but I just think maybe I'm not as vexed because you could see it. Pepe is my dog, but he's so frustrating. He suits a counter-attacking team. And I thought, you know, looking at Villarreal, do Arsenal know him? Because, you know, you look at when we had that Villarreal game, Pepe's played as a false nine. As you know, we went for Smith-Rowe and it didn't work, man. His numbers are still better than most of the others as average as he's been. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. What does that say about bare other people? For me, he should just play off that left, at least until he gets a bit more competent. I think his mind gets a bit too clouded on that right-hand side. There's too much things to do. And I think Tierney's more likely to go forward. So that gives him a bit, man. These people don't actually watch these young players in relation to what we previously spoke about. Yeah. Pepe cares. He wouldn't say I'm not getting game time if he doesn't care. Pepe's a good player. He's just not a 70 million pound player. I would sell Pepe for 20 mil. Not sure for that. Pepe's price tag is what he gets criticized for heavily. And in Leo, the team was getting the ball to him. He ain't good in build up. That's true, but at the same time, there's that. Unpopular opinion, Pepe defends more than Saka. Bro, Saka is trash defensively. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he gets away with a lot. Spurs, him and Tomiyasu switching off. Chelsea, him and Tierney switching off. When Saka gets tired, he actually starts playing quite trash, and that's been something that's been happening a couple of games this season, and whatnot. I do think I agree with that. Pepe defends better, but at the same time, bro, you're not in there to defend. Arteta's system does not complement our players. It doesn't. That's why no one's really excelling, but some men are doing it others, man. I think one problem is that Pepe defends too much. And I think I'd rather Saka's got more variety in his game. Pepe needs to be closer to goal. So when I'm seeing Pepe receive the ball on the halfway line, on top of him have all these problems, you can see why. You know, we're going to have a problem with Tomiyasu at some point. Not that I don't rate Tomiyasu. Again, I'm not asking him to be the Japanese Dani Alves, but there's no way around it. You need to be able to go forward, and he does, but it's not enough. And he doesn't specifically overlap enough for our fullbacks. If we want to be an attacking team, we need fullbacks to do that. No matter how much Arteta waffles about one guy goes narrow and one guy goes forward, you need both to be able to do that. Saka, always gets marked by like two man, but still causes problems. Pepe really gets quiet when they just put him on his right. Not sure what the second bit meant, but yeah, man. I feel like Pepe needs to play striker behind Aubameyang in a 4-4-1-1. I mean, I'm on it, but I'm at that point now. I'd rather Pepe, you play on the flanks or you don't play at all, man. I wouldn't say Saka was the reason, but he definitely switched off. I ain't slandering Saka, but his output is not good, but he's also 20, so it's to be expected. He just needs to finish, bro. He's not good enough to lead us to the top four. None of them are, but they can be utilized. You know, none of these players are guys that I could say could wholeheartedly deliver us something single-handedly. I can't lie, I rate Saka a lot, but he's been very meaty recently. Pepe needs to play more to build his confidence. You've got to wait your turn. You know, you and him and Martinelli had their opportunity against Leeds. I know it's difficult. You ain't been playing for time. There's a lot of ring rust. You're playing with a rotated side, so it's not going to be to the same standard, and you're not going to, as attacking player, be given the same service. But you've got to take your opportunities, man. Bro, Saka, I always tell you, the whole team, you see Arsenal, yeah, our game management on our in relation to our Arteta is poor, but it's these players. I look at them, I'm like, you know, you're tired. Again, I can't tell Saka, Lokonga, but these men have played Premier League football, playing for Arsenal, Lokonga's been called up to Belgium and Saka's played for England. I can't tell them anything. But as someone who goes to games and watches the games and watches them multiple times and loves football, I know one thing. If you're going to do this pressing thing, and all of this, you're going to get tired. You're going to gas out. You know, when Arteta first came in, 2 games that stick out back to back, we played Man United and Chelsea. We was winning against Chelsea, and I think Mount and Tammy scored in the last 15, 20 minutes when we got tired and got hit on the transition. United, they couldn't cope with us in that first half. Second half, we ran out of gas and we walked away with the result. But my problem is there's times, and I see Saka do it. There was one in a game recently, and he does it quite a lot. 5 minutes before half time, we're running foot, we're not slowing things down. We're losing the ball in stupid areas. We're taking stupid free kicks and we're losing it. I think when Saka gets tired, his standards drop. I think Lokonga the same. Lokonga at times when he gets tired, his standards drop. He's known to. Ramsdale got into him before with that. I saw Smith-Rowe and Lokonga do that do that against Watford, losing the balls in the middle. Now we've got away with it, and of course I'm nitpicking, but I'm nitpicking because that's what the best teams do. If you want to be a top 4 side or a European side, you need to nitpick. Average teams waffle about just getting the victory against Watford. Good teams think of, why didn't we score 2 against Watford? Why didn't we score 3? Away from Aubameyang moving mad, stealing Odegaard's goal, and he needs a slap for that, and missing the penalty, and Saka VAR doing him dirty. Why didn't we create a lot more? Foster it was a weird game because Foster made a lot of saves, but I'm still yet to see us put a goalkeeper under sustained pressure. And obviously managing out games, particularly the second half, the last 20 minutes, the last 5, the last 15, the first 20, especially when we go in at halftime in the lead. I'm not trying to be critical. These men are 23 years of age, max average age. I expect them to have that. But you see 1 or 2 little moments, even Ben White, a couple times trying to dribble for no reason. Ramsdale's had 2 warning signs. The third time we might not be so lucky. As great as Ramsdale's been, that brain fart where he's come racing off his line against Watford, and I know what I'm talking about. It's gone under his legs. If there's no ifs and buts, but if Josh King is in a greedy twat, gets his head up and plays Ismail Assar, Watford gets something in that game. And we all remember XHAKA bailed him out. I think Ramsdale's a bad boy, but we need to remember everyone's developing. People are gonna make mistakes, really and truly. But getting back in with PEPE, yeah, man, that's where I'm at, man. PEPE would be good with Vardy. We're not gonna get Vardy in it, so it's a bit irrelevant. Everyone played shit those first 3 games. Since then, everyone looks at more solid facts. Good morning from Canada. Big up yourself. Ainsley Maitland-Niles played very well last match, but I worry about him sometimes. He can be casual and complicates things rather than keeps it simple. I see why, but that's for him to have some focus and balance. And I'd say that's the case with all our players. I think across 90, we're yet to play well for a full 90 minutes. There's times where we start having brain farts, and I think Arteta needs to work on that. But the players, you're tired, how if you're a winger that's flying forward, if you're gassing out in the second half, stop flying forward as frequently. Time it a bit more, because these are the things. Arsenal are weird in that we either play at 100 million miles per hour from start to finish, or we play at 0. We don't guide it. And I look at the Spurs game sticks out because a lot of people will focus on the fact of how good it was, the context of changing the players. We scored some good goals. We played with intent. The Haaland boys stood up to be counted. I'm not criticizing it, but if you cherry pick these games to see the true level, the second goal was the best goal we scored for me. Do you know why? Maybe not because of it. It's because, do you remember, we had a blistering fast start against Spurs. They couldn't get near us. They couldn't cope with us. But there was an incident we started normalizing. They started to get back in it. Ramsdale made a good save to deny Son. And I think shortly after that, we got the second. But we gave them a 5-minute passage where they normalized things. I would say even the Watford game, there was a 5-minute passage in towards the end of the half where Rose had an opportunity where he could have scored from a corner. And there was an opportunity before that, and obviously the second half against Spurs, despite the fact that we're 3-0 up, we're still kind of shook, really. I like the fact we're able to score goals, and to be fair, we've grinded out some 1-0 results and stuff. There's a lot of things we need to do a bit better, but for me, it's about managing the game. Look at the way Liverpool and what's them team there again, Man City managed the games against United. Now, obviously, we're nowhere near them, but look how they kept playing, but also clearly took their foot off the gas. Clearly, City took their foot off the gas in the second half. Without getting complacent, the game's done. The game's won. We don't concede. We don't do anything stupid. We just keep knocking it about. Yeah, United are shit, but you get the point. PEPE has better numbers than Saka. Allow this to be fair. Someone at 26 should have that, but I hear you. I do think PEPE gets agendaed. I do understand the frustratingness. I do like players that lose the ball because it means you're taking a risk, but sometimes he's doing stupid stuff, man. In the same way I get frustrated about Saka's finishing and see, his standards dropping when he gets tired. I get frustrated a lot with PEPE because for me, he's a weird one. He'll take a man on And then the man might defend well against him, and then he's not really on it again. For me, I need to see a bit more of a balance. But he is a confidence player. It's just with consistency. The man's got ability, but it's consistency, and we can't carry passengers. But saying that, this time last year, where was Lacazette? Lacazette had a strong finish to last season, but the first half of the season, people were like, why is he here? He's dropping deep all the time. Remember Aston Villa? Why is he here? He's dropping deep. He's a defensive mid, lack of threat. Fans are shameless. They'll start gassing you up again. Everyone's going to be a hero. Everyone's going to be a villain. What Pepe's problem is we can't. As much as I don't think Pepe's bad, I want Martinelli to give opportunities. I want the young G's to get chances. Bro, right now, it's November. We sit 5th. We finished 8th last year. There should be, as good as it's been for these 10 games, there should be hella pressure on Arteta, on Edu, on this football club. We can't really be given opportunities. When your opportunity comes, take it. But I can't sit here and say Pepe should get an opportunity off that left-hand side, because right now, if I'm trying to get 3 points tomorrow and I'm the Arsenal manager, I'm entertaining, not that I think Smith-Rowe should be moved, but Smith-Rowe on that left flank, Aubameyang moved to that left flank to probably accommodate Lacazette or something. I'm trying to do things like that before I'm looking at someone that costs 70-odd million, or even Martinelli. I'm probably not going to lie, Martinelli's my guy, and biased, I would pick Martinelli over Pepe, but if I'm honest with you, I'd say Martinelli's probably at the bottom of that pecking order at this moment in time. And that's the problem with that's the thing I like about our team now. Not everybody can play, and there's consequences according to your position. Like I might be a 10, you might be a striker, but according to somebody's form, either between us or someone else, there's consequences. If Lacazette is playing where he can't be dropped, he's got to be brought into the team. You can have everyone, but you can't have Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Lacazette, Aubameyang. You can't have everyone consistently. If Aubameyang moves to the left, then someone's not playing. It might be Odegaard. You can't play now because Smith-Rowe's got to stay in the 10. Smith-Rowe don't move out wide to accommodate you. There's problems now, really. And I don't think too many players this season have been playing out of their skin. And that's what I mean when I say people are playing good, but no one's holding on to their shirt. I think Ramsdale, you can't take that from him. Gabriel, you cannot take that from him. Maybe Smith-Rowe in the last, he's been playing well, but I'd say in the last 3 games in particular, or I'd say Brighton away, really, you can't drop him. Other than that, people are playing well. If our club was a bit more healthier, listen, Saka's my guy and he's playing well, but, even Smith-Rowe at points this season, Saka, that you could be dropped. Aubameyang, you could be dropped. Lacazette, of the last 2 games, really, second half against Leicester and against Watford, I'm not going to sit here and get on to Lacazette. You won the penalty and you was involved in the first goal, 2 goals that were disallowed, but you could be dropped. That's what I mean. We've got problems now, and it's a long game of football. There's 38 games. Everyone's going to get an opportunity, really. I'll just say for Pepe, be a bit more unpredictable, slow down, and we might get somewhere. Hit the like button, get your opinions in on Pepe, people. Again, if you like this, we'll continue with this sort of thing as well. I think Arteta is doing the lad wrong and his confidence is shot. But at the same time, how? Because he, fair enough, the team was dog poo at the start of the season, and it's a bit unfair to say that. But Martinelli, Pepe, they never done nothing, so they're being dropped. I mean, he can't afford to. It's not the Pepe show, it's not the Saka show, it's not the Smith-Rowe show, it's not the Aubameyang show. He can't afford to carry, man. Now, if he kept playing him, I'd understand it, but I know we've got more time for Pepe as much as he frustrates then Willian, but it's the same logic. I'm not going to advocate playing someone and they're playing iffy, trying to play them into form if other players are doing well. We need 3 points and it's a difficult one, but I just feel the way we're playing, we can't carry no one. So Pepe is going to have to hold it on the bench. When you come off the bench, if you come off the bench, take your chance. I don't think Arteta is doing anything wrong, really and truly. He had a chance to lay down a marker against Leeds. He didn't do it. So you have to hold the bench. And, Aubameyang was moving mad in the last game, but he's playing okay now. Lacazette's doing his thing. Saka's, I will need to see a lot more from Saka, but he's not playing bad. He's playing quite well. I'm only judging Saka on his own previous high standards. Smith-Rowe, whether he's off the left or the right. So you've got, there's competition for places, I'm seeing Odegaard drop 1-2 times. Pepe's been dropped. If Saka and Smith-Rowe aren't doing the business, I want to see them dropped and stuff as well. So long season, man. So long season, and obviously Pepe's gone off to AFCON, so that shags him, but he might come back as a new player. But I don't think Arteta is doing anything particularly wrong. Last season, I was looking at it and saying, "Yo, okay, cool. There's something deeper here," but I wouldn't say this year. One thing I'd actually give Arteta, I think he's made Pepe more of an all-rounded player. He looks very good defensively, and you don't see Pepe in patches as much. You see him a bit more in the game consistently, but the same old things stay the same. That makes sense. Any player would struggle if they're constantly picked up the ball in their half and having to carry up the field. And that's something we all struggle with. I don't think we get the best out of our right wing. I think we're still very left-hand centric, but it is what it is. Trees up, DG. Game management is an issue. I still expect teams to score against us in the second half. That comes from watching the past couple of seasons. Hope we're learning. These men are young G's, so I expect it. But at the same time, they're young. It doesn't matter if you're 17 or 35. If you've played football and you've played 5 times, in life, you should be able to sit back and say, okay, in this game that happened. Maybe it's because we're doing this. And for me, I would like to learn these lessons before it bites us on the arse, because it will bite us on the arse. A couple times we've caught life. We should have probably lost to Palace. We should have probably dropped points to Brighton. We should have probably, Leicester probably should have grabbed the goal. Watford probably should have had a goal. We probably shouldn't have had a goal. These fine margins have gone our way. Maybe Burnley or Spurs would reckon again, Ben White, should they have got a penalty? I don't know. Ideas what Arteta could do to get more out of Pepe. First things first, I think it's with Pepe. No, in fact, that's a lie. I think Arteta, whether it's one thing I'll give Pepe, even though Martinelli ain't really played, but one thing I'll give Martinelli, Pepe, Aubameyang, Laka, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, all these attacking Donnies. I don't think, on occasion we're playing good football, but I don't think we're playing well enough, creating chances, moving the ball forward, any of that. And I think Arteta needs to do something on the coaching front, because I think no one is playing to their potential, and we're not playing to our potential. Because realistically, as much as I say this, we've got a 52 million Lacazette. We've got Aubameyang who costs a similar fee. Pepe 70 odd. Haaland crazy boys in Saka and Smith-Rowe. Couple of them, man. We should be bagging goals. That goals shouldn't be a problem, really and truly. And sometimes we're scoring some pommy goals. Let's be real. Saka's goal was they all count, but Saka's disallowed goal would have been pommy. Smith-Rowe's goal was a bit pommy. Ben White's won the ball back. Smith-Rowe's pull it in. I don't care. I'm not trying to win goal of the season awards. I'd rather Arsenal get in the in the Champions League and Europe and things. But you get the point. So that's what he could do generally. I think it's on Pepe. I do think Pepe probably both. I think Saka is better on the right with Tomiyasu. I think Pepe needs someone. You got to make it easier for Pepe. I think you slap him on the left, you got less options. Build a bit of confidence, and you can go back to the right. Because as I said, I think Saka's there's no competition there. But right now on the left, you and Tierney work a bit better. Tierney is more of an attacking fullback, or even Tavares. Not sure if Arteta would trust Tavares and Pepe together, or I would either. But fly forward. You either have to put a cross in, or have a dig, or play it simple. Get your confidence just from that. I would say that for Pepe, main thing. But other than that, the rest is on Pepe for me. You've got to want it now. Pepe is, I always say it's different. But I think even though Pepe is 26 and Sancho, is in his 20s, there's a lot of luxuries you could afford them. But I think footballers get to a stage where it's on them now, and I think it's on Pepe. With all the other things, I think it's on you. If you want to be a good footballer, like a really good footballer, you've got to want it. And I think there has been a bit of change in his mentality, but I think it's all down to Pepe now. If he wants that player to come out, that's it. I even think the same with Saka to a degree now. If you want to be a goal-scoring man, no one can hold your hand now. I'm sure Arteta tells you need to score. He needs to put in the work in terms of finishing. Now, I know Saka probably would, because he strikes me as that. Pepe, are you doing, to be fair to Pepe, you did see stuff coming out, how he's doing extra sessions and whatnot. But for argument's sake, are you doing that? I think in life, you can take someone to the water. You can't help them drink. I think Pepe's at that case where he's got to make peace with, you probably never justify your price tag. Some fans love you, some fans hate you. That's always going to fluctuate. Forgive yourself for what's happened and have the confidence. I think he's got to marry his own things. He's going to live or die by the price tag. He needs to accept that. I wouldn't say Arteta is killing his confidence. I wouldn't say Arteta is killing a single player's confidence with our team in current form now, man. Ramsdale has made a couple terrible mistakes, but has been lucky to get away with them. The hype would have calmed down if Brighton scored when he dropped it and King did the right thing. Exactly. But this ain't me getting at Ramsdale. This is me. It's like fans don't want to see these things until it's a calamity. But these guys are still going to make mistakes. And like I said, it's about that perfect 90. Would Pep Guardiola be able to get a tune out of Pepe? Probably, I think, because they play more attacking football. I think you slap Saka there. Saka's getting better football. But same, man. Arteta could use Pepe more like Salah rather than how he does playing on the touchline. There's therefore more Pepe needs in his game, but we don't play to his strengths at all. I agree with that. And for me, when I see Pepe receiving it off the halfway line, you know what time it is. A player who frustrates anyways, he's gonna run into a blind alley. And I don't think he's had a consistent partner. That's what I mean. All of these points that are being raised, that's what I mean when I say there's luxuries I can afford Pepe. Pepe has played with a number of fullbacks and it's frustrating to watch. He isn't a direct dribbler. He likes to hold on to the ball instead of just beating the man. And Saka/Smith-Rowe suit the system. Exactly, bro. At the end of the day, we're fifth. The season, until we start playing terrible, by God's grace, that's not a thing. I can't advocate players getting look-ins. You know, even if Saliba was here, I can't sit there and say Saliba needs to get an opportunity right now because we're trying to get 3 points. Ben White and Gabriel right now are our best options of doing such. Of course, if there's injuries, you can make a name for yourself, but that's where I'd go, man. And that's the age-old one. How can you build up consistency without game time? It's near enough impossible, but you need to play well in training or whatever to the point where the manager wants to give you that. I do hear you. Some players need more runs than the others. Ramsdale's untouchable right now, but mainly because his mistakes have not been punished. If they were, Leno would be in with a chance in most people's minds. You know, fans in it, everyone loves you until they hate you. Fans turn on Saka. I remember some fans didn't even rate Saka at first, you know, because Saka ain't got that. What I like about him, Saka's got skills, but his thing is more simple. We see at Arsenal and other clubs, a lot of young G's will come through as wingers. They're flashing the pan. They might be amazing, a million step overs, but it's dead, in it. Kind of like how Pepe plays. It's dead, in it. Saka is more basic. Little 1-2s come inside. You might see a little drop of the shoulder, a little step over, but it's more basic. It's more simple. It's more throwback, and I love that from Saka, really. Yeah, that's another. That it comes down to the decision making with Pepe in football. You need to know what you're gonna do before you even got the ball. Pepe still, for me, playing on instinct. He's not playing on a calculated thing. Now, Saka and Smith-Rowe, they're young. They're doing a lot of things on instinct, but you do see a lot of cerebral approach. Like you can see Saka doing several things, playing certain passes or making certain runs. For me, Pepe's still relying on instinct, and sometimes it serves you right. If you're playing a low block, you can't. There's no instincting. Saka needs to be dropped for a game or two. He hasn't been good this season. He's been very average. Harsh, but I hear that, man. Spot on, DG, about Nico. So madness. That's an interesting comment. Pepe played more games than Willian under Arteta. This thing that Arteta hasn't played him enough is a myth. Gave him a chance against Leeds and done nothing. Unfortunately, we're evolving and can't wait. I agree with a lot of that. We can't wait for no one. As much as I want a million young players to get a look in, there's this and that. I'm not too sure if that's agreed, though. I know he might have played more times, but how many times was he played consistently? It felt like Willian got a lot of luxuries, if I'm honest with you. And to be fair to you, you know, one guy scored on the last day of the season and got one goal in 37. You know, I don't think Pepe's played 37 Premier League games, so I don't think that is true. If we're gonna make comments, can we please make sure there's a basis of them and they're actually coming from somewhere? Because Pepe played 29 times to Williams 37, where the league is concerned. Obviously, the cup game makes something, but it is what it is. And to be fair with you, you know, William got the luxury of playing up front, playing as a 10. He got a lot of luxuries it's afforded to him that, if I'm honest, Pepe didn't really. And to be fair with you, if we're honest with ourselves, which player had a better season? Not that it's hard to be better than William. Pepe ended up saving Arteta's bacon, you know, and also having a good FA Cup run. So we can't act like there's not a talent in the player. The problem is Pepe is very much one of these players that has plagued Arsenal for years. Every 5 games or so, they show you enough to say, all right, cool, let's persist. And then they show you frustratedness. My opinion, if Arsenal could, and they didn't get themselves in that situation, they would move him on. Genuinely felt when, you know them times where he was playing. Did he get sent off against Leeds one year? Them times there, I thought the end of that season, he'd end up being sold. He's okay player for the squad, man. I can't lie to you. Squad player beyond that. And many people will say, you know what, we spent 70 odd million for that. You know, we spent 70 odd million and things like that. It's mad. We could have had 3 against Watford, but we didn't, bro. Like we didn't. Like we could have, we should have, we didn't, bro. If Lens Lehman doesn't get sent off, we could have won Champions League, bro. And I hear you. I'm being a bit harsh. VAR, don't know why it's acted and denied Saka. Aubameyang's bugging out, trying to steal that goal off Odegaard, and the penalty is terrible. We could have. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. There's been games where we could have lost games as well. We could have lost against Brighton and things. Fact is, we didn't. So we need to, rather than look at hypotheticals, deal with what we can control, and that's the variables. We didn't. We put the ball in the back of the net. Big up, Donny. You've been gone for a madness. To be honest, I like the Tavares and Smith-Rowe partnership. Is doing a lot of stuff. The system's stinky. Wingers at the halfway line to pick up the ball. Bro, I can't lie. It's working right now, but it's going to... Listen, you got to think about it logically, yeah? If you're playing Arsenal, there's areas to get at. Tomiyasu's not going to go forward too many times. So that's hella space for you lot to create overlaps. Tierney or Tavares, if they go forward, that's a space for you to advance, You mark XHAKA like Lacazette did to Douglas Luiz. You mark XHAKA, typically you've stifled Arsenal's play. Ramsdale might do 1-2 passes and things like that. How many aerial contests are Arsenal going to win? Not going to win too many flick-ons and headers and all of these sort of things. So it's an interesting way of looking at things, if I'm honest with you. Interesting comments nonetheless, people. Keep them coming. Hit the like button if you haven't. We're at 187. And I think it's a bit like Martinelli. When Pepe is coming at times, you're playing with random duds. People should end their sentence with by his standards or something. But I think some of the comments, you lot are failing to understand that it's a squad game. Pepe got 16 goals last season, and I think with when it comes to players, too many people get attached to players. Like, don't get twisted. I'm not saying I'm not attached to players. I'm a big fan, in particular, of Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, XHAKA, Smith-Rowe, but it just feels like you got to remember, bro, it's an Arsenal thing. It's not one of these players. And I just think a lot of people either get blinded by their love for a player or blinded by their hate. And they look for what's called the confirmation bias. If I say Pepe shit, I might find the first comment that says Pepe is awful. And I now believe the only variable is that he's awful because someone is saying what I'm saying. We should always try and speak sense. But I'd say the one... if Pepe's Arsenal career was to end tomorrow, I'd say the one word would be frustrating. Like that's if I had to sum it up: frustrating, frustration. Any of these sort of things, if I had to sum him up, really. DG speaks sense when it comes to Nico and not being biased with the approach. Very refreshing to see. Everyone just wants to scapegoat. Bro, even at times, Willian started to get scapegoated. And I know it's hard to say he's not been shit. I think Bellerin at times, you get into that. I think Arsenal, we get into that scenario where it doesn't. Sometimes I watch games, I do watch alongs, and I like everyone's opinion because, I might be suffering from confirmation bias or whatever. But sometimes I'll watch a game, and I typically watch games 2 to 3 times. So I'll watch them and then I'll look at the sentiment. I'm like, nah, like either people are just doing some stupidness or whatever because it's not matching up. They weren't that. Pepe has pulled us through at times, but it's consistency, bro. Much like most of these players, man. Can't lie. I think if Pepe worked on his weak foot, he'd be a monster of an inside forward, bro. Let's just see what you can do with your strong foot, man. Interesting comments, man. Some of you harsher than others, but I love it, man. All I would say is try to remove your hate for a player, even with Willie. Not Gallas, though. Anyone that wants to be biased can do that, man. Man said DG's preaching. Saka is amazing. He just needs a rest. Come on. He just overperforming, but he does need to learn how to score, though. I'm not going to lie, bro. He needs to start striking it like a real G. I'm not going to lie. Again, a bias. Some of the misses that Saka misses, I'm like, I never saw that, But if it was other players, bro, you would see live streams and all them things. Of course. Well, that's why Bayern Munich said no, innit? It's just a hating thing. But for me, you know what? For me, I've told you lot already, like, I'm not at the stage of carrying players. So if the club were to say, you know what, let's sell him, bring in the next man, it is what it is. I don't want to carry players. If you're not them young G's like Saka and Smith-Rowe and Aziz and Patino waiting in the wings, I'm not on carrying you no more because Saka's 26 now, man. You know, it's as simple as that. Pepe started 16 games and got 10 goals and fully showed progress from his first season, even in his overall play. But again, never given credit. That's that, and that's all it is. It's that, and it's also the fact of he's very frustrating, and there's many things. That's the truth. But certain people, Ty, you know, as you know, in football, they live in extremes. You know, he's either been very shit, he's been very amazing. Both are lies. You know, again, not looking forward to doing this about Granit Xhaka. Pepe would suit a team and a game where it's more open and get more 1v1s, and I think those are hard to come by in the Prem. Come on. No, Saka's moving like he's 26. I said I got more love for the young G's that are in their early 20s than someone that is 26 and plus and whatnot. I ain't gonna sugarcoat Pepe, nor should anyone else. He's not performed to his price tag. He's not gonna perform to his price tag. You know, again, has Lacazette performed to his price tag? How many has Xhaka performed to his price tag? I love Thomas Partey. Currently, has Thomas Partey performed to his price tag? Not really. You know, of recent. And this, I'm not saying these guys haven't been well, but how many guys have played to their price tag at this football club? My thing now with that comment is the underlining what is going wrong. Why aren't we, when we spend this outlay, why aren't we getting too much bang for our buck? As we're speaking about Pepe, why hasn't it worked out for Pepe? If his IQ isn't high enough, why didn't you scout that and know his IQ weren't high enough? Clearly, we can all see the way Arsenal play under ARTETA. We've seen change out of Pepe, and there is a conversation to adapt. But why, you know, we all can see he's a counter-attacking man. Why did you sign him then? You know, this is the practices with Lacazette. Why did we get to a point where 6 months later we're bringing in a Aubameyang, specifically a striker versus a winger when Alexis was going? Do you get it? Granit Xhaka, why are we here? And again, they've all had good or bad moments. Why is he polarizing opinion? You know, this is me. We need to get back to our scouting. We need bang for our buck. Not too many of our big money signings have just delivered. And I'm saying these three names because anyone can rate these guys. I love Lacazette. I think Pepe's all right. I think Xhaka at times is scapegoated, but if you was to bring 20, 100 Arsenal fans into this room, 50 are going to have something, in fact, 45 might say one thing, 45 might say the other. Then you have another 10, and within that 10, 5 are saying a madness, 5 are saying the next thing. My point being, we haven't signed too many players where you can just sit there and say, yeah, quality. It hasn't been the big money signings, of course. Tierney, quality. Ramsdale, I think we can all see that he's going to be quality. So I would throw him in there for me. Gabriel, even Ben White. I'm not trying to criticize Ben White or anything, but he's been there 2 secs. 50 million. I've seen good games. I haven't seen 50 million worth. Not that that's a big fee. And for me, I look at the IQ of defending, and I said it. Gabriel looks like the new look centre half, if I'm honest with you. So I'm not taking nothing away from Ben White because he's been good, but you get the point. That's my thing. It's like we need to look when we're spending these mad outlays on players. What's happening? It's like how a lot of fans sat there and said, yo, bring in James Maddison, this and that. I would have loved it. I wanted it. But what would have been said if we spent that 60, 70, if we was going to, and it didn't work out? These same fans would say, oh, Arsenal have showed naiveties. You've overspent this, that, and the third. Would you not? It's one of them ones, man. He didn't set the price tag, but it's going to be crazy, man. Many haven't played to their price tag here. It's subjective, man. It's not about price tag, but it's something that's going to be said. I like Ojarabal, but yeah, man. Mane loses the ball hella. So I agree with the point, Khalid, but you lost me when you said Mane. Let's call a spade a spade. Some managers don't know how to grow talented players. Give Pepe time. You should, but Pepe's 26, bro. His contract's up in 2024. We've got we're in a territory now where you need to be deciding if you're going to give him a new deal or what's going to happen with that. I would say give him time, but there is no time anymore. But man, same age as me, he's 27 next year. It's a madness, man. Me, if we just accept, not that I want to accept it, but if I find it a lot more easy to just accept. You know what, your thing is the squad player thing. If you go for your little purple patches where you're shelling it down, then fair play. But beyond that, I don't expect too much from Pepe. I can't cap to you. I don't expect anything, really and truly, evidently. But yeah, man. Oh, Leo need to give us a player, man. They need to give us a player. We overpaid for Pepe. They gave us a deal for Gabriel. They need to hook us up with something. I'm not going to sit here and cap. For 197 likes, Bro, nah, Barde's my guy as well, but you can't, you know, Mane loses the ball a lot more, but you can't, you know, you can't say that and then list Mane. Man said Pepe's got to fix that trampoline touch, or when he takes a 1v1 and loses the ball on his own. For me, I don't even think he takes a man on 1v1 on his own. I don't think he has hit his prime. But I mean, when is this prime gonna happen? Man's 26. If you are not moving towards your prime, or I'm not seeing a real uptake in your performance where his all-round game has improved, when's it gonna happen, bro? When's it gonna happen? Because if I'm honest with you, whether he's gonna be a squad player or whatever, our average squad age is 23. He's 26. He should be a leader in the same way Partey, etc., potentially are. And again, these young players that we have and are going to bring in are still young players and still developing. Pepe, once again, is 26. In the next, we need him to kind of be when Aubameyang and these men leave, you're a player for, and Lacazette, you're a player for the present. How these players in the present perform, we can't stop. We can't keep waffling about, man. You know, 70 million euro squad player. To be fair, though, you know, as a United fan, you know, I'm pretty sure that's cheeky. You lot have spent how much money on Paul Pogba after losing him for free, and now I'm going to lose him for free again. And he's everything but a squad player. You're dropping him for important matches. Be a bit easy on Pepe now. But anyways, you know, Arsenal buyers coming out. But at the same time, you know, at the very same time, we haven't got time to, well, 4 years. Where do Arsenal want to be in 4 years? When, if I'm not trying to get at you, my bro, but if you're saying he hasn't hit his prime, when's his prime coming? And if it is, but we can't carry no one, bro. Really? It's crazy, man. I mean, Pepe just has to be a squad player, man. You don't have to prime at 26, but you need to. I need to start seeing an uptake in your performances, and I can't see it, bro. Havertz, right, man, got Havertz. It's not hard to be better than Jadon Sancho, man. Bro, you chat, but I can't take it from you, man, bro. I can't, because you lot told me Wan-Bissaka's the best in the world. You lot lied to yourself that currently he's better defensively than Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not. He's shit going forward. Can't believe he used to be a winger. You know, Luke Shaw, Gilberto, Carlos, man, Lowit, Harry Maguire, 80 million. You know, what's that? 30 odd million on Van Dijk. You lot got a 70 odd million Jadon Sancho on the bench. If we want to talk about expensive squad players now, I'm so happy you've come in at the right time, Mikel. So it's all banter, though. Not every player can hack the difference in responsibility for different teams. Pepe has a different job at Arsenal that he can't find consistency with. Wasn't like that before. Raul Sanye brokered that deal. Man robbed us and took a side cut for him and his agent mates. Probably got the brown envelope, to be fair, where Pepe is concerned. Probably, man. Nah, man. It's just playful banter, man. You rarely see any players improving after mid-30s. I think that's cap. Maguire moves like a broken sat nav, broken fridge. I would say leaky fridge. Well, even my dog's got better crossing than Wan-Bissaka. Three managers in with Pepe and still no end product or movement, bro. And this is why it's mad, isn't it? Like, there's been different guys, bro. In the same way I get at XHAKA, people get at XHAKA, and maybe it's led to these lots' demise. There's got to be a reason why three different gaffers have used him. There's got to be a reason why you've seen patches of Pepe, never quite Pepe, and he's got to answer it himself, man. You've got, maybe it might even be a thing where Pepe's doing nothing wrong in his mind, in Arteta's mind. He just believes in a Saka, Smith-Rowe, all of these other guys more. And you have to say, why is that? Make sure you're the guy who isn't that, man. The Kroenke interview was really interesting to see. I'd love to get something like that from the Glazers, except Super League rumors. I mean, as Arsenal and United fans, we're on the floor, bro, because Josh Kroenke can shove it, really. You know, again, time will tell, but everything's going well at the club right now. We're winning, and I need to see how we all react when things are going bad. If things are going bad, I don't want it to be that, but it just feels like it's only for me, anyways. It's only when things go down the shitter for Arsenal that we want to have these talks about the structure and the owners and the gaffer and all of this in a right way without doing the mazza. I would love Anthony at Ajax, but who's buying Pepe, bro? I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know. But yeah, people, I'm gonna get out of it with that being said. I can't lie, my belly is growling. It's time to eat, my people. Then, but it's been a fantastic live stream, really. You know, it's been a fantastic one where obviously We ended it speaking about Pepe. We'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more of these things, people, of course. And we focused on Pepe. We spoke about Smith-Rowe's call up. We touched on Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We spoke on Arsenal's need for a midfielder. It's always a fantastic one being here with you guys, man. 210 likes, so we've crushed any bots and any dislikers and any of them pussios that are there, really. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who's done that, man. So anyone who's hit the like button is appreciative. If you haven't, if you're watching this on the replay, I've put the timestamps in. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're commenting on the actual video, not just the live chat if you've said anything. So yeah, man, I'm going to go eat, get a little gym session in. 4 p.m. I'm going to be live on Twitch, where obviously we won the FA Cup in Football Manager last year. It's pre-season, so we need to do a little bit of a rebuild. But yeah, man, without you lot, again, I want to praise you lot for you lot support. Without you lot, it wouldn't be, the channel wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be a pleasure waking up every day. So yeah, man, you lot stay safe, attack your goals, and I'll be back tomorrow or at some point today. I'll always be uploading content and things like that. But yeah, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be back. 4 p.m. today on Twitch. Make sure you take it in, and yeah, man, stay safe. Check out my playlist as well. Members, please check out the community tab as well.
Because you always use that active when defending. I think it's like